Welcome to Dig a Hill, where the point is pointless and the arguments have no value. It's a rant, and my side is truly undetermined. This is a subject to be undecided. We spin a wheel to dig a hill, and so there we go. Alrighty, let us spin the wheel to see what we're fighting against ourselves for. Alrighty, I gotta get rid of water. sorry. Okay, let's spin that again, because that shifted the wheel. Okay. Planets. All right, it's time to dig a hill, lads. Planets. Welcome to Dig a Hill, where the point is pointless and the arguments is against myself and everyone and against myself again. Welcome to the planets. Okay. So planets. All right. There are so many planets out there. Beautiful, lovely, variables and all that stuff. Question. Why are they so variable like this? It's insane. All right. I get it. It takes millions and then maybe sometimes billions of years to put things together and all that stuff. But why are so many of them so gaseous? I mean, I got Geiger out there. I'm yelling out there. Okay, but they're so gaseous, right? Look at Venus. Look at Jupiter and Neptune and wow. Wait, hold on. Go to the planets real quick. We got Mercury, which is just a rock. Okay, that's I know, but still close to the sun. Of course, it's just a rock. It burned all away. Anyway, you got Mercury, Venus, which is a gas. Like you'd melt, you'd be buoyant and melt, right? Yeah, because it's so pressurized. How is that so? Wait, how is Venus so pressurized? That doesn't even. Wait. Wait, how does that even... What size is Venus? Hold on. I'm gonna pull up some information here. Hold on. Okay. How big is Venus to Earth? That's what I thought. They're slightly smaller. How the heck are they so much more pressurized than us? That makes no sense. If they're weaker, if they're slightly smaller, they should be weaker. Because it's not the gas don't make the density. It's the bloody. No, I'm not interested in that. Okay, it's the gas that makes the gravitational pull. It's the rock on the inside. So why is there so much on Venus in comparison to Earth? I mean, it's like, yeah, twin, earning its nickname Earth's twin. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? This is insane. But yet it's so vastly oh my goodness, they even have like they did a comparison of liters of how much larger Earth is, because it's 5% smaller technically, and they did who does these calculations? Well, who does these calculations? Why are they doing in liters? You don't measure mass in liters, you measure liquids in liters. Oh my goodness, that makes sense. Anyway, obviously, once again though, then you have the other planets, and it's just there's so many variables, and I get it. The sun is important, but if there's so many varieties, how is it that they form as they are? Everything that exists on our world is out there in space, but yet for some reason, it's not out there in space. If it's so abundant, why is it not out there? I mean, is that why we're trying to head to Mars? So we can have all of the resources that we want? Is that really the reason? I mean, Mars is mostly just a rock too. It has an atmosphere, a very thin one. And my understanding, it does get windstorms, but those windstorms are like, what, only 20 miles an hour? It's like not depicted on the movie. But my problem with the planet, it's like, where's the problem with the planets? Where's this dig a hill on the planets? My place that I'm standing on this hill today is that planets are lying to us. That's right. These planets, even though we're scanning them from afar, we can't scan them up close. I think they're lying. I think these planets are lying to us. Like they're sending out signals, basically, that give us false information. You know, basically we've found only our planet being inhabitable. What if a lot more planets are habitable, but they're creating signals that make it so they look like they're not habitable? If there's so many varieties, surely the variety of life would be re-rolled again and again and again, right? So perhaps the reason these planets look so chaotic is because the signal waves that they're sending out makes them look chaotic. So we have a planet that would, when they said they found like a planet so far away that would be Earth-like, but somehow it's like negative 200 degrees Celsius or something like that. Like, oh, that's not really Earth-like, but maybe it is. Maybe they know something we don't. Maybe these planets that are in the Goldilocks zone, but Earth-like, but yet still working out, but just somehow negative 203 degrees Celsius. That doesn't make any sense. They're sending out false information. It's not necessarily the people that are receiving the information that are sending out false information. It's the planet itself that's sending out false information because they're scared of aliens. They're scared of us, and I don't blame them. Let's be honest. But they're scared of aliens, so they put out signals that make it look like their planet is like desolate, hopeless. There's no life here. There could be no life here because it's a barren, crystallized nonsense of inorganic materials. But then the planet itself, it's like a living planet. It's like Ego from the one movie, or hold on, yeah, like Gaia, the spirit. It's like preventing things from noticing them, protecting its life forms on its world. What if our planet sends out a signal like that? What if our planet is actually sending out a signal stronger that we can't detect because we're on it, and that signal's been putting out this whole time, and we don't notice it? Our planets are aware. Our planets are alive. Okay, why else would they say they act up? What a word to use for a planet when they say they act up, which obviously means there's something going on there. Their planets are alive. Planets are sentient. They are aware. Unfortunately, they can't defend themselves from the inside. Usually, they can try, but it's kind of like one of those things where, like, oh no, there's something. Like, it's kind of like your own body defending itself. It's like we're supposed to be fighting things on the inside. We're basically like the bacteria inside the planet. Basically, we're the ones that are supposed to be helping and removing the problems, but at the same time, we're not really doing that. We might be bad bacteria. But anyway, the point is, these planets are aware of their situation. The planets are alive. And these moons, they're like observers of the planets. Planets, because the moon is made from our Earth's crust. So, in short, it's a part of us. It's a baby planet. It's a planet that hasn't grown up. I mean, it takes billions upon billions of years for things to grow up, right? Because it's space, things take a long time to do things. So what if the moon is just Earth's baby that hasn't grown up yet? And that's why they stick so close together, because every planet takes care of their own children differently. And let's be honest, that it's like, which planet? Hold on. Which planet has the most moons? Okay, it's Saturn. Okay, yeah, exactly. Okay, my point. Point exactly. Saturn has the most moons. It has all the rings. Saturn's in the middle. Kinda. Well, I suppose maybe not. Oh, it's got the big boys around it though. Yep. So I mean, Saturn's playing around way too much. Saturn's got a lot of children out there. Total confirmed moves is 274. My goodness, Saturn. Close your rings, my god. Put up your atmosphere defenses, because good lord, you're making too many moon babies over there. Oh my goodness. Wait, the following on the discovery of 128 new moves in the early it gained 128 moons in 2025. That sounds even more suspicious. That doesn't seem to make sense. How are they not colliding, clashing into each other? It makes... What? That's insane. Okay, I'm sure with our moon being a child because we use it as a human shield. You realize all those craters are from it taking hits for us. Yeah, I know, right? Well, no one ever said that the planet was a good parent, but I mean, children always bounce back, right? I mean, that's exactly what it's going to do. It's going to bounce back. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It'll bounce back. That box is actually supposed to be above here too, so you can chat box that. Okay, I apologize. That didn't pop up. That should be popping up. My apologies. Anyway, but yeah, no, exactly. But it's children bounce back. That's what it is. It's a young child. It's a young one. It's a little pale. It's an albino child too. At that, so most of the other moons, it's around other planets are all colorful. Ours is an albino child, so we have to keep it close. But it will bounce back. It's strong. But that Saturn needs to close its rings. My goodness, it's out of control. With supposedly 274 moons. Good. That just changed? No, it was 128 dollars. Okay. Either way, my goodness. The planets. So, in conclusion, planets are alive and more aware than we think they are. They're all so gaseous except for two of them. Okay, and that's simply because probably the sun slapped. Obviously, Mercury can't even sustain its atmosphere because it's too close. It's just getting slapped constantly. And then Mars probably got slapped at 1.2, seeing its position between us and what is that, Saturn? Or not Saturn, Neptune. Jupiter! Sheesh. My goodness. Okay. Between us and Jupiter, it's like, no doubt it's got slapped at 1.2. Oh, there's an asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Okay. Maybe that's what happened to Mars. Maybe Mars got hit by the asteroid belt. Anyway, point is, know this. The planets are alive. They have children. The children grow up, but we don't live long enough to see them grow up. And when something grows so slow over a long period of time, you'll never notice it. You know that? The planets are always growing in size. Did you know that? They are always growing in size every single day, but you'll never notice it. Because it takes thousands and millions and billions of years for you to finally notice the size increase. But every planet is growing in size, so which means they are alive because they're growing. Every planet is growing. So there you go. Unless something obviously takes a lot of weight, weight loss programs, and dieting planets. But the point is, the planets do in fact gain weight. They grow in size and they gain weight. All right, and they can also lose it too. So yeah, they are just basically living things that we are, and the things on them are bacteria, and planets put out a signal that makes it look like they're inhabitable, inhospitable. But I think that's just a self-defense mechanism. Like they've been hurt too many times. I mean, Saturn over here obviously doesn't care about who comes in, but so yeah, it's on 274 moons, so it has a lot of children going on. Maybe it runs an orphanage. I don't know. Maybe any lost moons goes to Saturn. Maybe that's the scenario, because that seems crazy. But then again, who knows how often a planet can give birth? Right? So yeah, I imagine that number's going to decrease though, because there's no way you could have that many children without them fighting and eliminating each other. And you pay attention. I mean, you're only one planet. How can you pay attention to that many children? I mean, sure, you have a giant eye on you. No, that's Jupiter. Jupiter's watching. Jupiter's watching us. It's not even watching Saturn. It's watching us. Huh. Anyway, okay. That's my stance on the planets, is that they're alive, they have children, and they are aware, and they defend themselves with false readings. There's my hill. I'm standing upon it. Fight me. All right. Okay, let's go back to that wheel, shall we? Okay. Okay, take away the planet. Actually, do I want to take away planets? Do I want to keep planets there? I don't want to hit it back to back, but I'm just going to remove it from the wheel for right now, and I might put it back on for... Okay. Okay, so let's go back. Let's spin the wheel for a second object. Okay. Spin, spin, spin. Which one will win? Hello, Kenneth. How you doing? Okay, what am I fighting now? I'm fighting the simulation. Alright, time to dig a hill for the simulation. Alright. Okay, we've always said we could be living in a simulation. We could be living in a black hole. We could be the first simulation or the last simulation. We can't be in between. Right? Yeah, because we can't be in between, obviously. Because if we haven't made a simulation, we can't be in between simulation. Anyway, the point is, there are people who claim that we live in a simulation. But what if the simulation is not as broad as I believe they are? Here's my stance on the simulation. The simulation is inside your mind. What do I mean by that exactly? Let me explain, shall we? This is why we're here. This is why we're here to learn, here to fight an argument and understand the perspective that is unperceived by my perception. And I'm going to be honest. Remember, the points are pointless. These are not necessarily my opinion. But, okay, the simulation is inside your own mind, all right? Okay, so if we're inside a simulation within our own mind, it's projected differently from our own view, which is why things at a certain distance and or outside our realm of direct perception seem so irregular, all right? Even though there's news out there and things happen, it's not real because you're not in that part of your own perception's mind of simulation. What if all the stuff you experience from afar is simply that background stuff? And the simulation is only projected within your own mind, within your own presence. You are the player of your own area, all right? Even right now, if you're seeing me as another person, that's because you're seeing me as your simulation, as a piece of it. Now, each of us have our own simulation pieces. So when someone, say, no longer exists in our simulation, they may be still running their own simulation continuously as if nothing ever happened to them. Let's say someone happens to fall down from a heart stopping. To us, it's like, oh no, they've passed on. But to them, nothing has happened. Their heart never stopped. Okay. But things around them also disappear too. Simulation is not the worldwide, but the simulation is within your own mind. Okay. This is constant calculations and projections of data being flowed through your own brain. All right? Because it would be so hard to have a massive simulation controlling all people, because there's so much variables and all that stuff. But if you put a simulation in every mind, their own mind becomes the computer. Therefore, the simulation becomes from their perspective in their own mind. And with genetic memory then also can help the flow of designation of belief and environmental happenings. Therefore, the simulation is not the worldwide, but within your brain. Your brain is the computer, the simulation is in your mind, your perspective is the simulation. So even if you were to disappear from someone else's simulation, your simulation continues, not even knowing that in their simulation you disappeared. Or what if they disappear from your simulation, you're disappearing from their simulation at the same time? Therefore, there's no interaction anymore between the linkage of simulations. Because you also have to consider the fact that simulations can also interconnect and intertwine because the electrical currencies through the atmosphere. This is how they make the system work. So if you lose that link of interaction of electrical currents, they make the simulation simulate their disconnect by having them disappear in one way or another. The collective consciousness. Exactly. So every person has their own simulation inside their own mind. And when the consciousness connect, that's when they become more projected reality. Which is why I have no projected reality outside my own home, because I don't have a very good conscious collective consciousness brain. It makes sense. Anything happening outside my home, That's all just prefab simulation of the subconscious. Our subconscious is very vast and very powerful. So, in short, the simulation that we all believe in is, in fact, within your own mind. The fact that you try to tell other people that we live in a simulation is you can collective consciousness. But if you disappear all of a sudden, people are like, oh, why do you disappear so suddenly after explaining collective consciousness or the simulation? It's simple. He lost the connection. He overloaded his simulation so it couldn't render you in anymore. Exactly. Maybe that's why we're bad introverts. We're introverts in the first place. It's because our connection is poor. It's not we're introverts because we have bad connection. We have bad connection because we're introverts. Or we're introverts because we have bad connection. Sorry. We're introverts because we have bad connection. All right? It's just the system. All right? It's the system implanted in our mind. So basically, they implant the base programming of the simulation. They give you a random spawn location, and then you just continue the simulation within your own brain. All right? And depending on your brain's capacity to connect to the consciousness of the simulation determines how much you could perceive a connection to other people. Therefore, the lack of connection with other people means poor connection to the simulation, which means you live in your own simulation because your brain is the network. There you go. It's not a worldwide simulation, it's a brain simulation that depends on your own brain's connectivity to the collective consciousness. There you go. Beautiful, direct, and true. Welcome to my hill. The simulation is in your mind. Your mind is the simulation. Wait a minute.